Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my updated team selection for Game Week 1. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, what is your Game Week 1 team looking like, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, after watching the friendlies over the weekend, my team has completely changed. I've got like 4 or 5 brand new players in my team. And as you can see, in goal, I have hopped on the Onana train and I've brought him in, which means that I've also taken Luke Shaw out. But again, we'll get into that when we go over the defenders. But yeah, I've decided to bring the new United #1 into my team. I just feel like he's such a solid option. United's fixtures look a lot better. I feel like he's just going to keep the clean sheets going. I know that De Gea just obviously got the golden glove and stuff like that, but I feel like this is going to be a massive kind of change in United's defensive numbers. He's a really good keeper. Obviously, you see all like the compilation videos that come out when you sign someone new of them like not doing great. Obviously, that happens. You know, everybody has a bit of a blunder in terms of professional careers, but I feel like Onana is going to be a really good option. And for 5 mil, he's not that bad at all. So I've gone with him. It could change by Game Week 1 if Luke Shaw kind of finds his way back into my team. But as of right now, Onana is my keeper, and I just feel a lot more comfortable having him over a 4.5 mil keepers. Like 4.5 mil keepers are still a good option, don't get me wrong. I just feel like this is, it just allows me to save money on Luke Shaw as well, and it just kind of increases the kind of, I guess, the points that the rest of my team can get. But either way, we have gone for Onana in goal. So the back line has also changed. As you can see, Chilwell is no longer in my team, but I've actually Luke Shaw's no longer in my team, but I've actually brought Chilwell in for him. I know he's got Liverpool at home. We'll get into that in a second, but obviously Estepinian, Gabriel, and Trent are the same. So don't really need to talk about the other 3. I mean, Trent is obviously in there just because of his new position. I just think since he's labelled as a defender still and he's like a midfielder now under Klopp, he's just going to get points. So hopefully he does kind of warrant that 8 mil price tag. Gabriel, I know, made a mistake, and I think Ramsdale made a mistake as well in the Arsenal United friendly. But apart from that, they were both very, very solid. So I'm not really too worried about Gabriel. And then Estepinian as well, just with the fixtures they've got coming up for Brighton. I just think he's such an incredible option. He was just under Trent for like chances created and stuff like that at the end of last season. Now I've gone with Chilwell. He is 5.5 mil, and I know that there is that rotation worry as well because there are other players that can play in that position, but he's had a really, really good preseason so far, and Poch also said that he wants him to get as forward as possible, and he is getting as forward as possible. You know, in the friendlies and stuff, he's having one-on-one chances and stuff like that, and I just think, as I know his injury record isn't great either, but I think if he can stay fit, he's going to be such a good asset to have. And I know his first game is against Liverpool, but I guess historically Liverpool-Chelsea is usually like a 0-0, and so I'm not like, again, anything could happen, but I think at the start of the season you don't usually see like a ton of goals. Obviously there are anomalies to that, but I think that Chilwell, I think he's going to be a really nice option. And then after that, Chilwell's fixtures are just so good as well. Obviously after Liverpool they've got West Ham, Luton, Forest, Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham, Burnley before they play Arsenal. So that's such a good run of fixtures. If Chilwell can stay fit, remember they've got no European football either, so I think he could be a really, really good option to have. And I know I am a little bit worried about not having Luke Shaw, but I guess I've got Onana to fill kind of the Man United defense. So right now I'm definitely on the Chilwell train, and we'll have to see how that kind of you know, correlates to the rest of my team and if I can kind of stay with that as well. But as of right now, he is in my team. Chelsea just look like a different team under Poch. Yeah, they are conceding a couple, but they're also scoring so many goals. And obviously, it's not great if they're conceding a ton as a defender. But I mean, it's pre-season, and I think that the attacking returns that Chilwell should get, hopefully, more than make up for a few clean sheets that you might lose. So that's the defense. In midfield, we've got Rashford, who's got Wolves at home. We've got Saka, who's got Forest at home. Mitoma, who's got Luton at home. And then Ødegaard, who's got Forest at home. So Bruno Fernandes not in this team, which again, I'm very, very worried about. But I've obviously changed Gabriel Jesus as well. As you can see, my 3 Arsenal players are Gabriel, Saka, and Ødegaard. So this has also changed quite a bit. Ødegaard, just a 90-minute man. And I know that obviously the likes of Havertz are in the squad now and stuff like that, but I can't see Ødegaard losing, you know, any minutes really. He is the captain, and he had a really good season. I know that his like stats aren't as good as your Saka's, your Martinelli's, and I've not 100% made my mind up on whether I'd go with Ødegaard or Martinelli. Martinelli just worries me a little bit because of the minutes and the rotation and stuff with Trossard, but Ødegaard I think is a really, really good player to have. I would definitely prefer Bruno Fernandes, but at the same time, I'd like that Arsenal triple up just because of the fixtures. I could go Bruno Fernandes if I want to do, but that would just allow me to only have 2 Arsenal players. And the fixture run that they've got at the start of the season just kind of, it makes me have to have 3 Arsenal players. having Forest, Palace, Fulham, okay, fair play, then United, but then Everton, Spurs, Bournemouth. And I mean, to be fair, I could even swap to Man United's Bruno Fernandes after a few games if Ødegaard isn't really doing well for me. I mean, there might be like prices obviously changing, but I do actually have 0.5 mil in the bank with this draft, which is why I'm not really too fussed about if Bruno rises in price or Ødegaard falls in price. Obviously wouldn't be ideal, but I do have 0.5 just in case that scenario happens. Matoma, I mean, watching that Brighton game against Chelsea, I mean, he's got everything you want in a winger. He just can't seem to finish his dinner. He's creating a lot of chances, did pick up an assist, but yeah, just the fact that he's just not clinical enough. So I don't know. I've still not made my mind up on whether I'm going to go Matoma or Mbeumo. I feel like I have to go Matoma just because of the fixtures, and hopefully he will come good at the start of the season. But at the same time, that could easily become an Mbeumo instead. And then Saka's in my team as well. Don't really have to go over that. On penalties, you know, 90-minute man, really good player. Arsenal's arguably Arsenal's best attacker. And then I've gone for Rashford as well, just because obviously in the back end of last season, well, the whole season he actually had a really good season. And then yeah, Rashford's numbers are just better than Bruno's. I know that Bruno's obviously on penalties and stuff like that, but yeah, Rashford I just think is such a good option. So gone for Rashford as well. And now before we get into the strikers, just going to quickly go over today's sponsor. If you're using different apps and websites for the latest football news and need a solution with it all in one place, then Route 1 might be something that you need to take a look at. With the Route 1 newsletter, you'll never be out of the loop again. It gathers all the football news and delivers it straight into your inbox in a snappy 5-minute read. It takes seconds to sign up and also keeps you up to date with all of the latest FPL news for absolutely free. But that's not all. As a subscriber, you'll get amazing discounts on football tickets and shirts and football experiences, European away days included. Join before September for free and pay nothing ever. No risk to you. Unsubscribe anytime. Just scan the code on the screen. Now let's get back into the video. Okay, so after that, my forwards have changed. Obviously, Haaland's still the same, but I have brought in Nkunku. Now, the thing about these Chelsea players is you don't really know who's going to start more. I mean, Nkunku, because obviously Poch said that he can play in like different positions, so that's really, really beneficial to his minutes. And he's just been having a really good preseason as well. I've watched a couple of the Chelsea games and he just looks really, really good. He's getting minutes under him, and I don't think it's going to be like a Timo Werner situation. I think he's going to hit the ground running. I mean, he already has hit the ground running. He scored a couple already, and good goals as well. He's fast, he's clinical, he's good on the ball, and I just think, you know, Gabriel Jesus also is a really good option, but it saves me 0.5. And yeah, I actually really like the look of Chelsea going into this season. And because of the no like European football and stuff, it definitely kind of helps in terms of like less rotation and stuff. But there's obviously so many Chelsea players. But I think that Poch is kind of putting together his starting 11. And I think Nkunku, whether he goes up front or he goes on the wing or whatever, then I think he's going to be in the majority of his starting 11s, because he's going to get in over like Sterling and stuff like that. Again, he might get subbed off on like the 70th, on the 80th or whatever every now and again. But for those, if he plays like he has been playing for preseason in those 70, 80 minutes, then, you know, there's a really good player on our hands here. So that's what the draft is looking like. The bench hasn't changed. It's still Areola, Bournemouth away, Bell, who's got Brighton away, Amada, who's got Sheffield United away, and then Archer, who's got Newcastle away. I mean, that Amada player, you know, he's been having a really good preseason as well. Only 4.5. If he does make his way into that starting 11 for Palace, then he's going to be an absolute bargain. And then Bell could easily be like a Botman or a Pau Torres or something like that. But at the end of the day, it just saves me 0.5. Again, I could easily increase him, but I don't need to. And I think I kind of like the idea of having a little bit of money in the bank if I do end up going with this draft, just in case anything does happen. You know, if I get an injury to like Ødegaard or something and I have to get rid of him, it's easy. You know, or Nkunku, I can easily just upgrade him to, you know, a different player or downgrade him to a different player. But it's nice having that little bit of extra money in the bank. But this is what my draft's looking like at the moment. It's a bit out there, but I actually kind of like it. I don't know. Even though Arsenal's fixtures are so good, I think I still kind of want Bruno over Ødegaard. But that's the one player that I'm like completely not happy with at all. But this is the draft. It's got a bit of Arsenal, bit of United, bit of Liverpool, bit of Chelsea. Obviously only one City player, but either way, I quite like the draft. But that's going to be everything for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please do drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What is your Game Week 1 team looking like? Subscribe if you're brand new. If you want to join the mini league, it's in the description down below. Follow my Twitter in the description down below. Remember to send me your teams as well, because I'll be doing another rate your team video at some point this week. But that's everything from me. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time,